Hey guys, welcome back to my Colourful Country Life. Today I am super excited to take a look at the brand new set of 72 watercolor pencils from Arrtx. They have kindly sent me these pencils to try out and I cannot wait to explore them more with you. So today we're going to take a close look at the pencils, swatch them out, maybe do a demo in a colouring book. I do have small Victories next to me, so we might colour something in there, and then also see how they perform in conjunction with the original Arrtx coloured pencils as well. And they have also sent me out this watercolor sketchbook, which we'll have a look at in a moment. But first up, let's take a look at the packaging. Arrtx always does a fantastic job with the presentation of their products. They're all a little bit unique, a little bit fun. This set is no different. We have this very sturdy cardboard box, and I love the colors and the print on this particular box. So the top actually just slides off, and inside we have this accordion style stand which is holding all of our pencils. So you can pull it out straight, you can leave it together, open it up a little bit. I do normally transfer all of my pencils into cases or pencil rolls, but I do quite like this little stand. I think I might leave this set in here. It's actually really quite handy. Good for traveling and good for just leaving on your desk as well, so you can put it to the side as you colour in and pull your pencils out as you go. They've also included this nylon paintbrush here too, and let's open it up. I think I've got to cut it open. Do I have to cut it open? Where's my craft knife? Oops. Watch the fingers. Okay. So, there's no size numbers on the brush that I can see. It says Arrtx. I quite like the barrel. It's very, very light. And size-wise, it does actually look like it's the perfect size for me. It doesn't have a number on there, but looking at the tip here, it does look like the same size as my water brush, or very similar, that you always see me using in my videos, which is really good for getting into small areas as well. So that will come in very handy. Now, I also noticed we have a swatch chart here. Just move these to the side. Okay, so it's actually a nice thick cardstock, and you can see that we have two sections here. So one section to swatch out your pencils dry, and then the bottom section here that's got the little paintbrush in the corner, we can use to activate our pencils, so we can see the difference between the colors when we use them wet as opposed to when we use them dry. You can also see the color number and the color name as well. So we have AW, which stands for Arrtx Watercolor, along with the number and the color name as well. Let's move that to the side and take a look at the pencils themselves. So these pencils have the ergonomic hexagonal barrels for comfort and a 3.8mm lead. That's how they come there. I haven't sharpened them yet. Now, the original Arrtx coloured pencils do have a round barrel. I wonder if the colours match up from the watercolours to the original Arrtx set of coloured pencils, maybe the 72 set. So the Arrtx original coloured pencils come in a 72 set and 126 set. So I'm wondering if the 72 watercolours match the colours in the 72 normal set. Similar to how the Arrtx Duras match with the polychromos. Also, Arrtx Duras have a hexagonal barrel as well, and the polychromos are round as well. I'm going to pull out my swatch sheet actually. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so I'm just going to have to pop these to the side here. I'll pop them over there. How easily they fold up. Here is our swatch chart for our watercolor pencils. And my first chart here is a normal, so this is the 126 pencil set that I have, and let's just have a quick look here. So where are our yellow colors? Okay, so the numbering system is completely different. Is it really different? So we've got 3 numbers here, but do they match in any way? No. No, and the names don't match up with anything either. Okay, that's a little bit of a shame. I think I can sense another comparison chart coming here. I'm just gonna have to see if I can color match the 2 sets. Definitely. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know I like to use my watercolors activated for basing in my coloring pages. And until now, I've only had 1 set of watercolor pencils in my collection, and that's the Arrtx. And like I mentioned earlier, they color match with the polychromos, which is wonderful. I don't tend to use my watercolors dry. It's just a personal choice. I have done, and there is a color along up on the channel on Rooms of Wonder where I use them activated and then dry on top. But I'm definitely interested in seeing if I can match the watercolors up to the original color pencils, so I can use them over the top of the watercolors for added shading and depth rather than using them activated and dry. But we'll try both anyway, because like I said, I've only got the Arrtx, so these may feel a little bit different when they're used dry. I just don't like the feeling of leaving the Arrtx dry on my page, so we'll try that out. So you never know. It's honestly not a huge deal with basing if they don't match. I'll just choose a color that best fits the base color for the element I'm coloring, but it would be nice if they did. So I will try and see if we can color match and maybe do a comparison at some point. So let me just move this back out of the way. And on that note, let's start swatching. So I'm just going to use my glass cutting mat here that you might have heard me mention in my last haul video. And it is magnetic, so we can hold this down while we work. Okay, and I might just turn that light down because it's shining on the page. Okay, I'll leave it on actually. It's a bit dark. It's pouring with rain today, so the sky is quite bleak and black out there. All right, I'm just gonna get some water. Okay, so I've got some water in my Faber-Castell collapsible cup, and I have just a cloth here when I'm cleaning off my brushes, or my brush, because I am going to use the brush included in the set. And what did I do with that brush? Did I put it back? Yes, I did. So I'm going to use this brush that they included to swatch out the colors, or to activate the bottom swatch. I will sharpen all my pencils first because I like to do that when they first arrive, just in case they do have a coating on them. So I'm going to use my Dal 133 to sharpen all my pencils now, and I'm just going to turn it down just a little bit so it's not too sharp when I'm swatching. And then I'm going to start the swatches so we can see how well they dissolve with water, how vibrant the pigments appear on paper, whether they're activated or whether they're dry. So on that note, I will zoom you all in a little bit and get swatching. Okay, so here are all our swatches. I do have some thoughts. First though, I did forget to mention that the pencils do have the pencil numbers on the barrel there. So you can see it says AW277, which is wine red. So it doesn't have the pencil name, just the pencil number, unfortunately. I wish they would have included the name on there somewhere as well. I also think I am going to transfer the pencils into a pencil roll just to make it a bit quicker and easier to find the correct pencil. Even though the barrels are coloured, I think it's just going to be a lot easier. I did put them back in colour number order, but they do have movement in here, so they don't actually stay the way you put them back. In terms of swatching, they blended out really easily with water. When using them dry, there was hardly any pencil dust coming off the pencils. I do have a feeling that I am going to prefer to use them for basing and then use my Arrtx coloured pencils over the top. That's just my personal preference for how I like to use my watercolour pencils. You can definitely use them dry as well if that is your personal preference. Now, first glance at the colour range, and it looks fantastic. Really happy with the selection of colours. I would like to see, I'll put a picture up on the screen as well. I just want to compare the 72 watercolor colored pencils to the normal 72 colored pencils. I don't have the 72 swatched out, I only have the 126. So I want to compare them side by side just to see if they are very similar, because as I was swatching, I do have a feeling, and let me just grab my swatch chart for the 126, but I've got a feeling I can color match these pretty easily to the existing pencils. So this is from the 126 set. I should zoom you out. Let me zoom you out a little bit more. Okay, I think that's better. So let's have another look at our colours here. There's not enough room on here to show you, but if we have a look at the yellow colours, some reds, our purples, there's our blues, our greens, and our browns and greys as well. So I do think I'm going to be able to match these up pretty well, I think. So coffee looks like dark brown, light umber might be tea brown, Mars brown might actually match with chocolate. Yeah. I'll put the 72 pencil swatch sheet. I'll have a look and see if I can find one online, and I'll pop a picture up here just so we can have a look and see how well they match. But as I was swatching them out, like I said before, I was swatching the colours out and I thought, geez, these look really familiar. So I think a lot of them will match up pretty easily. I have noted that a few of the colours look very similar, and I did check the numbers on the pencils before I swatched them just to make sure that I was picking up the right ones. And I went and scribbled some of the colours on a scrap piece of paper just to double check, because they did look very similar. And we've got here the wine red and the dark red, and very similar indeed. It's very subtle, very, very subtle difference in these two colours. Same with the grape purple and the berry purple. The more I look at it now, the more I can see the difference. But at first I thought, oh, did I pick up the same pencil? And even the black, it looks very similar to the charcoal grey. Even dry, it's not a super black, it's very much a grey rather than a deep dark black. Magenta surprised me as well. It looks more like a carmine red. It's a very much a pinky red than what I expected magenta to look like. It's a very pretty colour, very corally actually. Oh, there's carmine there. That's a pretty colour too. Yeah, but I expected it to be more of a pinky purple than a reddish pink. But overall, I think it's a really good selection of colours. So I think we might go and colour a page in small Victories just to try them out in a colouring book. But before I do that, I'm just going to go and open up the sketchbook that they sent as well to have a look. Do we have any sketches out there? Anyone who likes to draw or sketch? It's not a talent that I possess. I would love to, but I'm not that talented. Okay, let's open up the plastic. Make a good little swatch book too, I think. It's very handy for traveling. Handy little swatch book if you're not a sketcher like me. So it says watercolor sketchbook, 100% cotton, highly absorbent, color lifting, hot press. 20 pages and it's 300 grams. What's it say? Attention to moisture protection. And 98 by 136 mil. So will that slide off? Might have to cut that off. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Lovely pattern. Matches the pattern on the box as well. It's a really pretty pattern. I'm a bit obsessed with the pattern on this book. Okay, so is that supposed to be loose? Or is that supposed to be attached? I don't know. The back's attached. I think that is meant to be stuck down. I think. And mine's come undone. Anyway, it still works. So we have a perforated edge here as well. Yeah, it's nice thick paper. So 20 sheets are all perforated, so you can pull them out when you're finished sketching. Or like I said earlier, you could use this as a swatch book and just put your little swatches here, little travel size swatch book. That could come in nice and handy. Okay. So I have Small Victories here by Johanna Basford, and this is the page I thought we would colour today. These little small victories here. Have I used water mediums in her book before? I've used them in her books, but have I used them in Small Victories? I can't remember. I've used markers. I've used distress inks. Yeah, this might be the first time I'm using watercolours in this book. But the paper is just as good a quality as her other book, so it should work just as well. And we're going to try it out. So what I'm going to do is move everything out of the way and start colouring. So I'm just going to pop some music on, colour this page, and I'll be back with some more thoughts at the end. Alright guys, that is our little simple page there completed from Johanna Basford's Small Victories. Now the pencils worked really well activated and on their own, which I've left for the background here. You get a nice smooth finish, a nice blended background too. And they also work really well underneath the Arrtx pencils, which I've used on the other elements as well. So, who would like a conversion chart? Well, I hope you all said yes, because it is the next day and I have something for you. So I have made a conversion chart between the 72 watercolor set and the 126 pencil set, and 40 of the watercolor pencils had a match in the 126 set. I really would love if Arrtx would do a 126 watercolor set just to match their pencil range. That would be awesome. So on the chart here, I do have a guide up the top. So the left hand side is the watercolor pencil, so the left hand side of the swatch, and the right side is the standard 126 color pencil set. So that's the right side of the swatch. And then the first one here, we've got AW, which is Arrtx watercolor, and butterfly yellow on this side, and we've got AT, which is the normal standard Arrtx pencils, light yellow on this side. So that is how the chart works. Now, one thing I'd like to mention is that I haven't really been able to burnish with these pencils like I do with the Arrtx. They're a little chalkier, so if you do like to use your pencils dry, that might be something to take note of. Otherwise, they are awesome on their own and also as a base undercolored pencils as well. They're also about a third of the price of the Arrtx, so if you wanted to pick up a set of watercolor pencils to start with, these are a great budget option. Also, I did move my pencils into a pencil roll just in numerical order. It is so much easier to find the right pencil this way. Oh, and I realized I did forget to touch on the issue I had with one pencil when we were swatching. So you will have seen there was some sort of contamination in the pigment of chrome orange. It looks like a little bit of lead maybe got stuck in there, and once I resharpened the pencil for the second time, it was gone and I had no issues with the pencil after that. And I've been swatching it out quite a bit since then and I haven't had any issues since. Now I will put the conversion chart or comparison chart. I really should rename that to conversion chart. I'll put this chart up on my Ko-fi site for you to download for free if you wish, and I'll pop the links to that down below. And if you are interested in trying these pencils, check out the purchase links in the description box down below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you found this video useful. Happy colouring, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.